Have you ever noticed how some of the most observant, emotionally aware people you meet didn't learn those abilities in school, books, or quiet reflection? They learned them because life quietly demanded it. At some point, their environment required them to stay alert, to read subtle shifts in tone, body language, and silence, just to feel secure. Their awareness wasn't a choice, it was a response. Psychologists often refer to this as traumatic intelligence. And if this concept feels unfamiliar, that's exactly why it deserves your attention. Here's the idea. Trauma doesn't just leave marks, it can refine perception. Studies in developmental psychology suggest that growing up in uncertain or emotionally intense environments can heighten sensitivity to patterns, behaviors, and unspoken cues. The brain adapts early, especially areas linked to emotion and decision-making, allowing a person to detect what others overlook. What forms is a quiet, powerful intelligence beneath the surface. The first sign is that you sense the emotional atmosphere of a place almost instantly. You enter a room, and before anyone speaks, something inside you becomes alert. You notice the slight pause in conversation, the tension in someone's shoulders, or a glance that lasts just a fraction too long. This isn't something mystical, it's learned awareness. Your mind became skilled at recognizing patterns because, at some point, paying attention helped you stay safe. The second sign is that you naturally tune into what others are feeling, often before they fully realize it themselves. Someone says they're fine, but you can feel the disconnect between their words and their energy. You pick up on subtle shifts in tone, pacing, and expression. This level of awareness is often described as heightened empathy. It tends to develop in environments where understanding others wasn't optional, it was necessary. The third sign is how you respond when pressure rises. While others may panic or hesitate, you tend to become focused and composed. Your thinking sharpens. You begin analyzing options, adapting quickly, and finding a way through. This isn't accidental. It reflects a nervous system that has learned to function in high-stress conditions. The fourth sign is your tendency to deeply analyze behavior. You don't just observe what people do, you think about why they do it. Conversations stay in your mind long after they end. You look for meaning beneath actions, even when others overlook it. This depth comes from years of trying to understand unpredictability in your surroundings. The fifth sign is important to recognize. The awareness, empathy, and insight you carry are not flaws. They are real adaptations. They reflect how responsive the mind can be when shaped by experience. And as we continue, the next signs reveal how this form of intelligence influences identity in ways that go far beyond perception. The sixth sign is a strong sense of independence that feels almost instinctive. You don't naturally rely on others to solve problems for you. Instead, you figure things out quietly on your own. This isn't about avoiding people, it's about what you learned early. When support felt uncertain, your mind adapted by becoming resourceful. Over time, self-reliance became your default setting. The seventh sign is the intensity of your emotional experience. You don't just notice life, you feel it deeply. Music can affect you in ways that are hard to explain. Acts of kindness stay with you. Injustice can feel overwhelming. This depth reflects a heightened sensitivity within emotional processing systems of the brain. It creates a richer internal world, but it can also feel heavy at times. The eighth sign is your relationship with trust. You don't give it easily. You take time to observe, to understand patterns, to feel secure. But when trust is established, it runs deep. This isn't negativity or doubt. It's a learned response. Your mind developed filters to distinguish between what feels safe and what doesn't. Those filters may slow connection, but they often lead to stronger and more meaningful relationships. The ninth sign is your difficulty with stillness. Slowing down doesn't always feel comfortable. When everything becomes quiet, your thoughts can become louder. This happens because your system is used to staying alert. Rest is not something that comes automatically. It's something that has to be learned and practiced. The 10th sign is perhaps the most defining. You carry a strong sense of purpose beneath everything you do. You don't move through life without reflection. You've seen difficulty, and instead of ignoring it, you've tried to understand it. This often leads to a deeper clarity about what matters and why. It's a form of insight that usually takes years to develop, but for you, it came earlier. The 11th sign is your ability to remain composed during emotional chaos. When others become overwhelmed, you often stay steady. You observe, process, and respond rather than react. This isn't because you don't feel things. It's because you've learned how to manage those feelings in moments where stability matters most. Your mind has practiced this more than most people realize. The 12th sign is your awareness of subtle inconsistencies. You notice when someone's words don't match their actions. You recognize patterns that repeat over time. This gives you a kind of clarity that helps you navigate relationships more carefully. It's not about overthinking. It's about recognizing what experience has already taught you. The 13th sign is your tendency to anticipate outcomes. You often think several steps ahead, considering different possibilities before they happen. This can make you appear highly strategic. In reality, it reflects how your mind adapted to uncertainty by preparing in advance. The 14th sign is your ability to adapt quickly. When situations change unexpectedly, you don't stay stuck for long. You adjust your thinking and move forward. Flexibility becomes one of your strengths because rigidity was never an option in the environments that shaped you. The 15th and final sign is your quiet resilience. You don't always speak about what you've handled, but it shows in how you carry yourself. There is a steadiness in you that comes from experience. It reflects a mind that has been shaped, challenged, and strengthened over time. And while the path that created it may not have been easy, it resulted in a depth of awareness that continues to guide you forward. Here's something important to reflect on. Traumatic intelligence isn't meant to be admired without also recognizing the weight behind it. The awareness is real, but so is what it took to develop it. Psychology shows us that the mind doesn't only struggle under pressure, it also adapts in powerful ways. The insight you carry, the sensitivity you've developed, the way you interpret people and situations, these didn't appear randomly. They were shaped through experience. They are the result of a mind that had to adjust earlier and faster than most. But understanding this is only part of the story. What truly matters now is how you use it, whether you allow it to guide you with intention or let it operate unconsciously. Because in the end, this intelligence is not just something you have, it's something you can direct forward with clarity and purpose.